My sister announced her baby name at my baby shower. I told her husband he wasn't the baby's father. My baby shower was perfect before my sister Beatrice arrived. I was sitting in a big white chair decorated with ribbons, and I was 20 minutes into opening gifts when the back gate swung open, and Beatrice walked in like she was arriving at her own photo shoot. She was wearing a tight white dress that hugged her bump and full makeup, and her hair curled perfectly, and every single head in the backyard turned to watch her. Beatrice put her hand on her belly and announced to everyone within earshot, "Sorry I'm late, but this little one kept me up all night and I could barely drag myself out of bed." People immediately started cooing and asking if she was okay, and telling her how amazing she looked, and I sat there in my ribbon-covered chair, holding a half-unwrapped package of baby blankets, watching my guests swarm my sister. My best friend Corey caught my eye from across the yard, and I could see the irritation on her face. She clapped her hands twice and said, "Okay everyone, let's get back to the gifts, because Jody still has a huge pile to get through." People slowly made their way back to their seats, but Beatrice positioned herself in a chair directly across from me, where I would have to look at her every time I looked up. She kept her hand on her belly the entire time, and every few minutes she would wince or shift and someone would ask if she was okay, and she would wave them off with this brave little smile. About an hour into the party, I was opening a gorgeous hand-knitted blanket from my aunt when Beatrice suddenly stood up from her chair. "Oh my god, I totally forgot," she said loudly enough that everyone stopped what they were doing to look at her. "I have news. I'm so sorry, I know this is Jody's day, but I just can't hold it in anymore." I felt something cold settle in my chest. I set the blanket down in my lap and watched her walk toward the center of the yard where everyone could see her. "Damon and I finally picked our baby name," she announced with her hand pressed to her bump and this huge smile on her face. "We're naming her Charlie. Charlie Ann. Isn't that perfect?" The yard erupted. People gasped and clapped and started getting up from their seats to crowd around Beatrice. My mom was the first one to reach her, and she pulled Beatrice into an embrace and said, "Oh honey, that's gorgeous, I love it so much." My aunt was asking how she spelled it. My cousin was saying she knew a Charlie and she was the sweetest girl. Within 30 seconds, my entire baby shower had transformed into Beatrice's baby name announcement. "Can this wait?" I said, and my voice came out sharper than I intended, but I didn't care. Everyone turned to look at me. I was still sitting in my ribbon chair, with the half-opened blanket in my lap, feeling like an idiot. "This is my shower, Beatrice. Can you announce your baby name literally any other day?" The yard went quiet. I saw my mom's expression shift from joy to disapproval in half a second. Beatrice's face crumpled and her hand flew to her chest like I had just slapped her. "Oh my god, Jody, I'm so sorry," she said, and her voice was already getting wobbly. "I didn't mean to upset you. I was just so excited. I thought you would want to know. I thought we could share this moment together since we're both pregnant." "It's my baby shower," I said. "The whole day is supposed to be about my baby, my first baby. This is my first time experiencing any of this, and you just made it about you." "Jody," my mom said firmly, and I could hear the warning in her voice. "She didn't mean any harm, she's just excited. There's no need to make a scene." "I'm making a scene," I said, and I could feel my face getting hot. "She just announced her baby name in the middle of my party, and I'm the one making a scene?" "Sweetheart," my aunt said gently, like she was talking to a child throwing a tantrum. "It's not a competition. You're both having babies. This is happy news for the whole family." I looked around the yard at all the faces staring at me. My cousin looked uncomfortable. My other aunt was whispering something to the woman next to her. My mom had her arm around Beatrice, who was now dabbing at her eyes with a tissue she had produced from nowhere. Nobody was on my side. Not a single person. Corey was standing by the dessert table and she gave me a small nod like she understood, but she didn't say anything either. "Fine," I said quietly. "Whatever. Let's just get back to the gifts." But the energy had shifted. For the rest of the party, people kept bringing up Charlie. They kept congratulating Beatrice. They kept glancing at me like I was going to have another outburst. I smiled and nodded and pretended everything was fine while inside I was screaming. When the shower finally ended, Beatrice was one of the first out the gate. She hugged me and whispered, "I really am sorry, Jody. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. I love you." Then she was gone before I could respond. She didn't help clean up. She didn't stick around to spend time with me. She got what she came for and she left. I helped Corey tear down the decorations in silence. Andre kept looking at me with this worried expression. When Corey finally left and it was just us, Andre said what he had been holding back. "That was deliberate.